You do realize that Ethereum's tokenomics are somewhat distinct from traditional economics, correct? My guess is that there is some apprehension about whale dumping and similar issues because although it asserts to be deflationary like Bitcoin, it is likely not quite the same and is not as widely held. Because to its straightforwardness and ease of use, Bitcoin Zella stands out. Whether you're an expert in the crypto realm or just starting out, we've made sure that everyone can dig in. Guess who's been watching us all along? Robert Kiyosaki, author of the popular book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. As an added bonus, it's completely free, and we'd like to use this time to thank everyone who has put their faith in us. You may get all the fresh information for free if you subscribe now. Instead of following the trends, try to set them. Get the upper hand by subscribing to Bitcoin Zella now. Mark Yusko, you're right that this is a watershed moment in crypto's history. New Ethereum tokens are going live. In terms of Ethereum, what does this imply? Will its value soar, just as Bitcoin ETF? I have this theory. It's really that simple. I won't claim to have inside information, but I will state my theory that Grayscale is undergoing a deliberate demolition liquidation. Basically, they were like, well, again, my thesis. I don't get any insight and knowledge, and Barry might smack me if I said this, but I think someone approached him and said, listen, we have you. We could go after you and cause a lot of pain in your life, or you can feed the beast, which is BlackRock. Just hand over your Bitcoins to the new big dog in town and charge a really high fee. My premise is that. With the majority of large canines, isn't that correct? Here we have the wolf that rules them all. So what if you explore every street and alley? There is BlackRock. Yeah, when the call ends. Yeah. Among the many sorts of purchasers, some will likely relocate here due to the widespread belief, especially among those who have listened to Raoul and others, that Ether offers greater potential reward than Bitcoin. So that's all right. I mean, that makes sense mathematically. While we're in Nashville for the next 3 days, I can and will find ways to criticize that. And I expect others to do the same. However, when you progress up the value chain to larger purchasers, it becomes more apparent that crypto isn't just for criminals and drug dealers. Imagine you are a large sovereign wealth fund, pension, or endowment, and you have to convince your board that this is an investment of institutional quality. If I were to rehash the entire thing in an effort to persuade them that Ethereum is similar to Bitcoin but smaller, I'm not sure how much space I would have. A quarter am I? Holdings should be Ethereum and 3/4 Bitcoin. You have no idea. The number of individuals prepared to endure brain damage is something I'm going to wager against. Just recently, has Donald Trump shown any interest in cryptocurrency? Nonetheless, he is now positioning digital assets as a geopolitical issue and has stated his intention to become the president of crypto. On July 16th, Bloomberg asked him why he's now involved with the cryptocurrency industry. And he explained why. If it doesn't, China will probably be the one to acquire it or someone else, depending on how it plays out. Thus, we have a solid basis. It's a newborn. I don't want to be held responsible for letting another country take over this sphere. He remarked, adding that it is still in its infancy stage. His comments make me wonder a lot of things, including whether China, which outlawed cryptocurrency trade and Bitcoin mining in 2021, is even considering getting back into the industry. It alludes to how governments and the cryptocurrency industry interact in general. How much power does a single nation have over distributed and diverse digital assets? Tokens such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Wayne maintains that China has the potential to remain a major player, if not the undisputed leader, in the global cryptocurrency market if it so desires. There is a great demand for sending Chinese assets outside via cryptocurrency, and it also has natural advantages in Bitcoin mining, as mentioned earlier, so why not? The stringent capital market regulations in China are a particular concern. Binance, which began in China but is now based in Hong Kong, is the largest cryptocurrency trading platform by trade volume. Wang pointed out that China continues to account for 20% of Binance's trade volume. Binance wasn't the only Chinese cryptocurrency exchange site of its size before China's ban, according to Wang. Do Trump's comments actually indicate that crypto is becoming a new arena for conflict among the superpowers? Pagnotta claims that Trump knows that tens of millions of Americans own digital assets and that he votes once, and consider it a crucial issue for the upcoming election. It is politically clever to compare this to Biden or China. The well-known scientist Paul Romer was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics around 5 or 6 years ago for his work on the hypothesis of growing returns. Furthermore, it claims that the best product or technology does not win. First to reach critical mass is it, so this is why I enjoy quoting Top Gun so much. Top Gun Maverick. He's the best sequel to the original. But there's this fantastic line in the first Top Gun, isn't there? This school is mostly focused on warfare, as stated. For coming in second, you don't get any points. Similarly, with the ETFs, it works somewhat similarly. Get it done or get out of the way. $1 billion here? $1 billion there? That's real money. Doesn't mean I won't amass some assets, though. However, I'm wondering if BlackRock receives some of it since they've successfully convinced some clients to diversify their holdings. Very well. Some of the men with the lower fees might even be able to get some. Unfortunately, I do not anticipate the same level of interest. That is solely focused on the dynamics of ETF supply and demand. Whoever moves first wins. Even though they are distinct, they are complementary in a portfolio. They are distinct from one another as blockchains and from one another technologically. However, the main concern I have with ETH is that, as I often ask, people, would anybody use it if it were invented today but ETH didn't exist? You have things that are better, faster, and cheaper, so I believe it's hard to answer that question. Additionally, ETH's strong case rests on the fact that it achieved critical mass earlier due to its early release, large installed base, and abundance of developer activity. It triumphed. Well, I think that covers it. The TVL is too. Oh, absolutely. While I agree with the Solana camp that the network isn't perfect, I can't deny that the price and TVL have recovered. Plus, transferring a stablecoin to Solana is far more convenient than Ethereum, despite the fact that Grayscale's newly converted Ethereum Trust has had enormous outflows. With $266.5 million in inflows, BlackRock's eShares Ethereum Trust ETF came out on top, while Bitwise's Ethereum ETF came in second with $204 million. With $71.3 million, the Fidelity Ethereum the Fidelity Ethereum Fund ETF placed third. Spot Ethereum ETF inflows were sufficient to counteract outflows from the Grayscale Ethereum Trust ETH, which lost $484.9 million or 5% of its $9 billion fund that day. In 2017, Grayscale introduced ETH, a platform that allowed institutional investors to purchase Ethereum. Nevertheless, all investments were subject to a 6-month lockup period. The substantial day one outflows could be explained by the fact that investors now have a much easier time selling their shares thanks to its conversion to a spot ETF. In the meanwhile, $15.2 million in fresh funding came in via Grayscale's Ethereum Mini Trust, the asset manager's fee-cutting spin-off product. Inflows totaling $13.2 million were received by Franklin Templeton's Ethereum ETF, while 21 shares basic Ethereum ETFs received $7.4 million. The total trading volume for spot Ethereum ETF on their first day of trading was $1.08 billion, which is 23% of the volume seen by Bitcoin ETF on their debut. It goes without saying that you should subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. Get the day's top stories sent to your inbox at no cost whatsoever. Why haven't you subscribed yet? I have no idea. Subscribing and giving the video a thumbs up are great ways to show your appreciation for daily updates. Bear in mind that the key to power is knowledge, and we are here to support you as you navigate your financial path. Good investing until we meet again.